Welcome back, Bookworms. The Sunshine Cruise Company by John Niven. It always happened. I call him either John Neville or David Niven, and in case you don't know, they are both actors. But The Sunshine Cruise Company by John Niven is a relatively new book, especially compared with other books that I reviewed on this channel, so aren't you proud of me? It's a British comedy. It's about two best friends, Susan and Julie. They are both 60 years old. They are both in dire need for some adventure, for some excitement, but also in even more dire need for money. So they decide to rob a bank, obviously. Joined by some other elderly people, they set in this mission to rob a bank and the even more important mission of getting away with it. Just try to imagine a bunch of old people trying to rob a bank. They have this old school mindset. They have problems like their physical strength and memories, not what they used to be. You know where this is going. Overall, if you like British comedies and if you like the old people gone wild type of books, you're really gonna like this one. It's lightweight, it's funny, it has some truth and even some sadness to it, but it's a lot of fun. I just want to say something about the comedy in this book because there are so many different types of comedies out there and it's really a matter of taste. Each person likes something else. So when it comes to English comedies, you usually have one of the two. The first one is the really crazy Monty Python, silly type of comedy with very extreme situations and exaggerated characters. In terms of books, Douglas Adams is a good example. And the other kind of comedy that you have is the more subtle and humane type of comedies with characters that you can relate to, situation from real life, and sometimes these comedies has a lot of very sad situations with this comedy. And if there's anyone who can take really sad situations and turn them into really hilarious comedies, it's the British. And if you've seen movies like Death at a Funeral, you know what I mean. So for the most part, Sunshine Cruise Company is the second kind of humor, but here actually lies my only flaw with this book, which has to do, in my opinion, with imbalance in the comedy style. There is a part in this book, it's not very big, but it's still there, that it's more of the overly silly slapstick type of comedy intertwined with this more subtle, sad, funny, humane kind of a comedy. Sometimes it works, but other times it just didn't make any sense and ended up annoying me more than making me laugh. I mean, there's something extremely relatable in these characters and their situation. These two might be criminals in the sense that they rob a bank, but they're a Robin Hood kind of criminal. Some of these characters want the money in order to save a person's life. That's a good cause. And the bank is actually the bad guy here. But at the same time, there are two characters in this book that are so exaggerated. One of them reminded me of Peter Sellers in a way. I mean, if this book was a movie and Peter Sellers were alive, he could have totally played him. And while what they do is overall funny, it just doesn't fit in well with the other characters' realistic situation. One of these characters does something and it was a mistake. It ends up not being like he thought it would be, and his superiors are angry at him. Obviously, what he did was a mistake. But the next time a similar situation showed up, he does the exact same mistake again. And then the third time, and the fourth time, and again, the same mistakes. And each time it backfires. It was obviously a mistake, but he keeps doing it. But at a certain point, it just stopped being funny because this book kind of set itself as more sophisticated type of humor, and at a certain point, it just became way too silly. Where's Graham Chapman dressed as a general when you need him? Dead. I do have a feeling that, I don't know if it's true, but part of me thought for a moment that maybe the author wanted to do something and started writing this, and then at the middle he, I don't know, changed his mind or something and wrote something completely different. But overall, if you're reading this book for fun and not in order to review it later, I think you're really going to enjoy this. The atmosphere reminds me a little bit of the book A Spot of Bother by Mark Haddon, and movies like Shirley Valentine and The Calendar Girls. I do think most people will find this book very enjoyable unless, I don't know, they really can't stand British humor. Some people do. I don't know how, but they do. It's very British, very lovely. One of the characters get upset and then another calms her down by making tea. You know, just sit down, I'll put the kettle on. It's so British. I love it. How can you not love it? And the book itself was written kind of like a movie. I mean, it's written in a way that makes you visualize everything as if you're seeing it in a movie, which is neither good nor bad. I just thought I would mention that. But this book is really a funny book. I think most people will not have the problem that I had with the comedy style, because most people are not as big of a snob as I am. It's really funny and it's lightweight and, you know, British comedy. I just love it. So yeah, I do recommend it generally, despite this problem that I said that I had. It's really light reading, it's really fun and light. And yeah, so if you did read this book, please share your thoughts with all of us. Tell me what you think. And thank you for watching this video. Feel free to like it and even subscribe to my channel if you dare. And I will see you guys in the next video, which might be a review, might be a list of favorites. Who knows? I'll see you next time. Bye bye.